This is a warning to every single Vancouver buyer out there right now to do your proper due diligence so you're not slapped with a $10,000 or $20,000 bill at the time of closing. And you may think as a buyer, you're not responsible to pay commission, so what am I talking to you about? What I'm referring to is debt levels, especially on the sell side. If you are looking at properties that are at the highest rate of value in terms of a buyer's perspective, looking at homes that were purchased in 2019, 2020, upwards to 2023, there's a good chance that those sellers are underwater, that the property is not pricing out anymore, and depending on what has happened over the last couple of years, there could be more debt associated to the property. If the homeowner lost their job, was demoted to part-time work, or was out of work for a little while, they may be deferring taxes, and they may be looking at extra home equity line of credits to help fund them, or maybe private lending as well so they did not lose their home. So what happens at the end of a transaction, you will go to your lawyer and they're going to do a statement of adjustment. They're going to put in all the debits and the credits, and everything is going to have a line item down the way. So if the seller is infused with extra debt, those creditors get first priority. Yes, you can combat that by looking at the title search and make sure that you are understanding the credit search as well, because what you're going to see in those notations, you're going to see mortgages and there's going to be placement for those. It's very prudent that you are getting your agent as well as yourself to flag those, to understand how much is owing on these mortgages, especially if you're seeing second or third mortgages on there. If you're starting to see arrears for rents or some of these other items, some other financial charges, it starts to paint a picture that this seller may be in a position of hardship. And what that means is at the end of the transaction, there may be no money left over to pay some of those debts. And if they have no money left over and you really love the home, there are examples of this where transactions have been closed and it's been up to the buyer to take on those losses of $10,000 or $20,000, depending on what it may be on the segment of the home, just to get the deal done. So this is something that is happening every single day. And I'm just going to read a story here that was brought up in a publication. And these are some direct quotes from a ReMax agent who just went through a transaction such as this, and it was reported in the Globe and Mail. And he stated that from the seller's perspective, the seller somehow doesn't think 2.5 years of unpaid property taxes are their problem. Or maybe they had financial trouble and took out a $25,000 personal loan. He said, if the loan is registered against the property, it has to be cleared before the house can sell. He also stated that this happens a lot. Nowadays, people are having a hard time. It happened to me recently. He's talking about this transaction where he was representing a buyer in Oshawa and the seller was short $10,000. If they bought the property in 2019 or 2020, he stated, of course they are underwater. This is 1990, round two. It's happening every single day. And I warned this is what was going to happen. His clients had to pay the difference. They were assured that the debts were going to be paid off from the seller. But if they're not giving you the whole frame or picture, you need to be really mindful of what some of these risks are. It may look like you're getting a great deal and that you fleeced this seller, but if there's no money left to pay off their debts, then you're going to have a more difficult conversation on how this transaction moves forward. Not to mention on the real estate side of things, even though most of you don't care, for realtors watching this, you have to make sure that there's going to be enough money left over for you to get paid. All those creditors need to get paid first. And if there's no money left over to get the deal done for your buyer, there's not going to be any money left over done for you either. So this is the landscape that we're going to be in right now. And another thing on this as well, you have to think about appraisals. Appraisers are getting very conservative with their numbers, and you have to understand that that number has to be appraised out. On the selling side, you may be thrilled with a number that you get from a specific buyer, but if that property needs to be appraised and it does not get appraised out, that lender is not going to give you the money to the buyer to complete on the sale. So there has to be a little bit of a strategy right now to be sure that the appraisals will reach those numbers. If you are selling at a price that is just way too high and not justified, you may get an offer, but if it does not appraise out, you're going to be very, very disappointed. So this market that we're in, everyone is trying to hedge their bets. Sellers have a rising debt load. Employment's continuing to go up. Property pricing is continuing to drop downward as well. So you have to be very cautious in terms of how you price your home. What does that offer look like? What happens if the property doesn't appraise out? Because if it doesn't appraise out, so if there is a shortfall for some reason, then there's a further conversation between the buyer and seller. Who is going to make up the difference? If a property is selling for $1 million and the bank's only going to lend $900,000, there's a $100,000 gap there, and then a conversation needs to be had between the buyer and seller. seller? Are they going to split the cost? Is it going to be covered? Or is that transaction going to fall apart? The same thing can be said if you price it too high, and you may find a buyer that's ready and willing to pay that price. But if the appraiser does not agree with that price point, and we know that they're super conservative right now because of all these defaults, you're not going to get a deal done either. So it's a very tricky environment right now. You need to be working with people that you trust, people that have the experience to be able to navigate this, because the worst thing to do is having your heart set on a property, whether you're a buyer or very excited as a seller to finally get your property sold. And if it breaks down to something such as debt loads or an appraisal, that can be very devastating and have more consequences on both sides of the ledger, and possibly putting you in a position to pay more than what you want because you're emotionally invested. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.